Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're talking about why the stock market is so much better than real estate investing. Why stock market investing destroys real estate investing, and it's not even close. I'm going to give you 10 points today that will basically, if you thought there's even like a chance of real estate investing being better than stock market investing or something like that, I'm going to give you 10 points today that show it's not even close. Stock market investing can give you so much better returns. So it's so much better for the average person and basically any person in general, guys. Now, if you want me to ever do a video about like a few of the advantages real estate investing has over stocks, which there's not many, but there are a few of those, leave that in the comment section. I'll do a video about that at some point in time, guys. Just let me know if you're even interested in that. But today, it's all about the stock market and why the stock market's way better than real estate investing, guys. So let's just go ahead and get right into this. So number one reason is in stock market investing, very little capital needs to be used for you to actually be able to invest. Real estate investing, you need to have massive amounts of capital or have the ability to take out massive loans to go ahead and actually invest in real estate. You don't need that in the stock market. If you got $1,000, you can invest that. If you got $100, you can invest that in the stock market. Tell me how you're supposed to real estate invest with $100 or $1,000. You can't. You can't buy a property for that much. You can't buy land for that much. You can't do anything real estate related. You would have to somehow take out a huge loan, and even on a huge loan, let's say you take out, you're going to still need to have 5, 10, maybe even 20% down at that point. How are you supposed to have that on a house that, say, you want to buy and you want to rent out that's $200,000? You need a massive amount of money and to take out a loan, generally speaking. Or you just have to have a massive amount of money that you can buy cash for properties and things like that. You don't need that for the stock market. So anybody can basically invest in the stock market, whether you've got $100 laying around, whether you got $1,000, whether you've got $10 million laying around, you can invest in the stock market. It just doesn't work that way in real estate. And that's the number one reason why stock market investing is a lot better than real estate, because you can start doing it when you're really young versus real estate investing when you need to have made a ton of money or saved up a ton of money to even get involved with that, get that going, guys. Number two, you can make 50, 100% on stocks. You can make a 50, 100% in a year on stocks. You cannot do that in real estate. Yeah, I mean, show me one house that when the price in that house went up 50, 100% last year. This is not going to happen unless they put a massive amount of money into that house and then they try to flip it and they put all new floorings in and refrigerators and stainless steel everything and, beautiful countertops. Unless that happened or the house happened to be on a gold mine or something, housing prices don't go up 50, 100% a year. But I can give you a laundry list of stocks this high to the sky that went up 50 to 100% last year or more. I can give you a list this big. It's a massive amount of stocks that went up 50, 100% last year, guys. And the market didn't even go up that much last year. So it's not like the market was like in a boom time or something. But I can give you a list this freaking big of stocks that went up 50, 100%. Find me a list of houses that went up 50, 100% last year that didn't have a bunch of money put in them or something like that. It doesn't happen, guys. So the gains you can make on stocks are absolutely ridiculous compared to real estate investing, and it's not even close. Number three, it's possible in the stock market you can make thousands of percent gains on options. Real estate doesn't have any type of mechanism where you can invest in options and do options, some of those kinds of things. There's people in the stock market that do options and they make thousands of percent gain. There's options, that you can buy, a year out or something on a stock that maybe not a lot of people believe in. You buy options in that, and then that stock goes up massively, and you can make thousands of percent gain in a year's time. You can't do anything like that in real estate. There's no ability to do something like that. Stock market, there is another reason why the stock market's better. Number four, in the stock market, you have the ability to keep track of the exact value of whatever ownership you have in that stock. Whatever shares you own, you know the exact amount those shares are worth every single day. You know what you can sell them for exactly to the penny. However, on real estate investing, you got no clue, really. I mean, you can kind of keep track of, oh, the market went up about this much this day, and then the house sold down the street. So maybe we get around a certain price, but that doesn't mean it's an exact value. You could be $10,000, $20,000 off of what you could actually get for that house, or get in rent. You could think you could get, a rental rate of, let's say, $1,800 a month for that house. You might only be able to get $1,500 because, no one's coming and renting that house for $1,800. You don't know the exact amount. Stock market, I know the exact amount I can sell my GoPro shares for. I know the exact amount I can sell my Win shares for. I know the exact amount I can sell my Google shares for tomorrow. I know the exact amount. Can't do that in real estate, guys. You cannot do that. Another advantage the stock market has. Number 5, this is a huge one. This is a huge one. In the stock market, you have the ability to sell off an entire position in seconds, in literally seconds. If I had $10 million of Apple shares, right? If I had $10 million, I could sell that off literally within seconds. Especially if I had a normal amount, like a $10,000 worth or $100,000, something like that. Literally seconds, I could sell it off. Tell me how you're supposed to get rid of $10 million in real estate in seconds. You can't. It would take months, maybe even years to get rid of that. Even if you only own one property, that's still going to take possibly weeks, months, or maybe even years, depending on where it's at and what type of value you're trying to get for, and those kinds of things, guys. Real estate investing is illiquid. It's very hard to get rid of real estate. It takes a while. Stocks, get rid of it in a few seconds, or maybe at the worst, a few minutes or something like that, guys. Like it doesn't take long at all to do that. But yeah, it's in real estate. It's just really hard to get rid of those properties whenever you're trying to sell out and those kinds of things. Another huge advantage the stock market has. Number six. You can, in stock market investing, guess what? You don't have to deal with tenants. You don't have to deal with tons of paperwork. You don't have to, deal with people pulling out of a situation. You're trying to rent a place out, and then all of a sudden, last minute, when the paper goes to sign, they're like, oh no, we're not going to rent that place now, or they're nowhere to be found or something. You don't have to deal with all that amount of stress. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to deal with somebody that, put a huge hole through your wall or something like that in stock market. You don't have to deal with any of that. You don't have to, every time you're trying to rent a place to somebody or you're trying to buy a new property, you have tons of massive amount of paperwork to fill out and do all these things and all these legal jargon. When you're buying a stock, it's simple. You buy it and you can sell it whenever, and that's that. You don't need to fill out all this garbage paperwork that you do when you're doing real estate investing or you're trying to rent a property to somebody or some of those kinds of things, guys. A lot more complicated real estate investing than stock market investing in that respect. Another big advantage the stock market has. Number 7, I can bet against a particular stock. I can't bet against a house. So let's say my friend here, he buys a stock, and he buys stock in ABC company, and I know he bought that stock in. I'm like, dude, you're crazy for buying that stock. I can go ahead and short sell that stock. I can go ahead and short sell ABC stock, and I can make money if that stock drops. If my friend over there, he buys a house, right, and I know he's probably going to lose his job or he's on thin ice or something, I can't go ahead and short sell that house. I can't say, I believe that I want to place a bet that house is going to go in loan default or something. I can't do that. There were people trying to do some of that stuff in the recession, and now a lot of it's illegal and whatnot, and you can't really do a lot of that stuff anymore. But I can't do that with a house, but with a stock, I can. I can bet against something if I don't believe in it. I can bet against the whole market if I don't believe the market should be where it's at. Those kinds of things, guys. So you can't do that in housing. It's very hard to do that. So that's another big one. Number 8. Rental income, which is a lot of what real estate investing is, people buying a place and then renting it out to somebody else. Rental income is taxed as basically ordinary income. Whereas dividend income, you get dividends from your stocks, that's taxed at a much lower rate. So if I was to have a property and I was renting it out, right? Let's say I made $100,000 in rental income from that property. I would have to pay basically a 27 to 30% tax rate on that money. 27 to 30% would go toward taxes, right? However, when I make dividend income, I made $100,000 in dividends, I only pay 15%. So this one over here, real estate, I might have to pay $27,000, $30,000 in taxes. When stock market dividends, I only have to pay $15,000 in taxes toward that. So I get a lot more money that then I can go ahead and reinvest in another dividend stock or just another stock in general, those kinds of things. Real estate investing, a lot of your money gets taken away, guys. So it's another huge advantage the stock market has. Number nine, realtor fees and broken things in real estate can eat into so many of your profits. Anytime you buy or sell a property, you're probably going to use a real estate agent for that. They're going to eat into some of that money, right? You know, each time they're going to get their 3% or whatever. And then obviously if you're holding a property, you're going to have to put a bunch of money in to fix things, right? Because things are going to go wrong. The kitchen sink's going to break, the dishwasher's going to break. You're going to have to fix that for your tenants. The air conditioner's going to break, all these kinds of things, guys. And then that's money that has to come out of your pocket to then go ahead and fix these type of things. You don't have to deal with that in the stock market. You don't have to all of a sudden funnel more money into a stock. You know, it's not like the CEO of ABC company is going to call you up, or the CEO of Apple. He's not going to say, hey, you know, we got a new iPhone coming out. Can we go ahead and get you to give us another $500? Because no, you don't have to deal with that. Like, but real estate investing, when you own properties, something breaks, that's on you. You have to fix that, guys. So it's definitely a very, very hard thing to do there, and it's not fun because it takes more money out of your pocket. It takes money out of the profits. It takes money that you could be investing into something else out of your pockets and fix those kinds of things. And then never mind if you're trying to flip a property, you got to come up with a lot of money to fix that property up. You know, you buy a crap shack, you know, and it's got all these messed up things. That's all money that has to come out of your pocket. Then it's not fun to do that, guys. It's less money you have to invest in other things. Number 10, the last one, maybe arguably might be the most important, arguably. In real estate, it's almost impossible to diversify unless you have so much, you know, so many millions of dollars. Then you can buy property here, property there, but even then, it's almost impossible to diversify in real estate because you might be buying all properties in your city because that's where you live and whatnot. It's very hard unless you're worth tens of millions of dollars to buy a property in Atlanta and know that property is probably going to be good. Buy property in Miami, so you're diversified. Buy property over in London, so you're diversified away from just America. Buy property over in China. Like, it's very, very difficult. Generally speaking, when people are doing real estate investing, buying properties, it's all in their city. So if something happens with that city and something goes bad, they're all hurt. I mean, if somebody buys 10 properties in Miami, right? You have to have a massive amount of money to do that. They buy 10 properties in Miami, and the ocean waters keep rising in Miami, and there's a huge hurricane, and Miami gets totally flooded, and all of a sudden nobody wants to live there. Those people are screwed. Their real estate is going to be worth dramatically less money, right? Hard to diversify. In the stock market, I can, you know, be invested in the technology sector. I can also be invested in the oil sector. I can also be invested in the solar sector. I can also be invested in self-driving cars. I can also be invested in food. I can be invested in fast food. I can be invested in, you know, consumer discretionary. I can be invested in a retailer, an online retailer. Like, I can diversify around so many different industries. So if something bad happens with one stock or one industry, guess what? I got this one over here that's probably doing good, and this one over here that's probably doing good. So very easy to diversify in stocks. So hard to do it in real estate. It's literally almost impossible. And those are the 10 reasons why stock market investing is so much better than real estate investing, and it's not even close. It's not even close. But let me know in that comment section if you guys want me to ever do a video on the few advantages real estate investing has over stock market investing. I can do that sometime if you guys are even interested in that. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video today. Leave me a comment if you also believe that stock market investing is way better than real estate investing. I would love to hear from you guys in that comment section. Thank you for watching this today. If you just came across this channel, you may want to subscribe. We talk personal finance. We talk entrepreneurship. I'm an actual business owner. I give away so many business tips. We talk the stock market, the most of everything, just kind of like we did today. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.